If I had a kid, I wouldn't send them to school. I think school makes people stupid. I think school makes people complacent. I think school kills creativity. I think school makes people okay with being mistreated. I believe that if I spend all the time that I spent in class learning how to make money, I'll be doing way better than I'm doing right now. I will be making a lot of money. I think school was a waste of time. I don't understand parents who actually believe that school is the key to success. In South Africa, a lot of parents believe that because that's what Nelson Mandela told them. School is a scam. That's what it is. It's a scam. Humans don't need to be in class to learn. They don't need to wake up every day and go to class to learn. That's something that you must understand. We learn too quickly. School is a distraction, actually. You are being distracted from learning what you actually need to be learning to be independent. And learning what you need to learn to be independent doesn't take that long. All right? It doesn't take the whole fucking year. It doesn't take the whole year. Think about it. Other animals don't have to go to school, right? So what do you think that they're really teaching you at school? Do you think that school makes people smart? Or people get brainwashed? Think about it. Are people who are highly educated smart, or they just brainwashed? The same way that people who are very religious are brainwashed. Like, they can't even think outside the box because they've been brainwashed. They never got to use their minds. That's why when you challenge how they think, they get angry. They get angry because they've never got to think. You see, if you've never had to think your whole life, thinking is going to hurt. Because thinking is not easy, unless you are addicted to it, unless you had to think your whole life. But if you've never had to think, you're not going to feel good thinking. So you're going to hate people who are going to make you think. I know a lot of people who are educated who can't think for themselves, and it's scary. But that's how it is, because schools don't teach children to think for themselves. Schools teach children to memorize a bunch of stuff that other people have come up with. And the funniest thing is that it's not like the things that they are, being made to memorize are important. I mean, if they don't get employed, it means they're not going to survive, because they won't have any other idea on how to live, because they've spent years of their lives actually memorizing a bunch of stuff that actually don't matter, right? So if they don't get employed, that's it for them. They're not going to survive. Like, school is a total waste of time, especially now. The rate of unemployment is going high every year. So you send your kids to school, what's going to happen in the future is that, well, they'll be unemployed. They'll be having certificates, but be unemployed and not even know how to make money, and they'll be lazy. They're not even going to be creative. They're not going to find ways to make money. Why? Because they never had to be creative, right? So they don't even know how to be creative. That's what I'm telling you. It's a waste of time. You have been lied to. This isn't the time to be sending kids to school. This is the time to be teaching them how to survive on their own, without depending on anyone, without depending on this system. You know, this system is rejecting people. You can see that there's AI now. This system is rejecting people. You think this system is going to be employing humans? Humans suck. Humans are lazy. You know, AI is faster than them. So why would, you know, this system want to be employing humans? You think the higher ups actually care about us? They don't look at us the way that we look at ourselves. To them, we're just workers. That's what we are, and that's what they want us to be. You see, if we can't work anymore, they don't give a shit about us. You know, if they find a replacement, they're cool. They're like, okay, fine, we're good. What do we need these humans for? They're lazy. They complain a lot. Sometimes they go on strike. Sometimes they take time in the bathroom, in the restroom. Sometimes they're late. Sometimes they steal stuff. Sometimes they gossip about us. Like, nah, man, nah. Like this, we need something better. AI is taking over. That's what you must realize. So we're not going to be needed. So I don't know why parents are sending kids to school now. Like, what do you think they're learning? All the things that they need to learn, they don't need to learn at school. You can actually teach them everything that they need to learn. In fact, even if you don't teach them, they will learn everything that they need to learn. They will learn how to read and write without going to school. They'll learn how to calculate without going to school. In fact, humans can learn how to calculate on their own. They don't need to go to school to learn how to calculate. They don't need to go to school to learn how to count. So really, what are they benefiting? School is just a waste of time, man. That's what it is. That's what it's always been. It's been a distraction. What they're being taught is to be complacent, right? Not have a problem with what's going on and be afraid of change. Not be able to recognize, not being able to recognize when something isn't right. Like, they're just okay with everything. They're okay with everything that they're being told. Like, that's it. Because that's what kids are taught at school. Like, they must listen to their teachers no matter what, even if their teachers are not making sense. Like, you, as a student, you're not allowed to even debate with your teachers. You're not allowed to think outside the box. You're not allowed to be truly creative. That's the problem. So we have been lied to as people. Will I be able to cross here? Nah, I won't be able to. I won't be able to. But I like the fact that it's green. It's green here. Crosseki la no. Mindi kon. Kumara ni mbali yana ditangu takahle. Camera lisho. Mere?
Camera in your phone.
Your phone. Ko ru camera mara ru right ngo. Ro watsongo kat camera litu.
So you shoot it.
So no shootan kan balawlanya no sungwan so. So as humans, we need to take our power back instead of allowing other people to treat us like fools. If you are a fool as a parent, that's fine, but don't allow your children to be fools. Hit up. If you are lazy as a parent, it's fine, but don't allow your children to be lazy. Because you are not your children. When you really think about it, man, people are being abused, actually. when you think about it. Like when you send kids to school, what do you really think you're doing? I mean, you put them in a place full of different kids, right? What do you think is gonna happen? They're gonna bully one another. That's how it works. They're gonna bully one another, go through hell. Because humans are not supposed to be like that. We're not supposed to find ourselves in one because we're different. You know, believe it or not, human beings are different. So if you put them in one place, they're gonna fight. They can't live in peace. Even if you create rules for them, these rules ain't gonna work. They're gonna break the rules, especially when they're young, because it isn't really natural for them to be put in one place, right? That is why you can't be friends with everyone. Just because everyone around you is human doesn't mean that you can be friends with them. You know, you cannot just be friends with everyone, like, because we're different. But being forced to be in one class, sit together, do things together, like, that's not good. That is why people grow up traumatized, right? We grow up traumatized because we are being forced to do something that isn't natural. Yeah. And it gets worse when we get employed, because we have to play by the rules. You can't even make mistakes. You depend on your job. You can't make mistakes. Sometimes you can't even speak out if there are problems. You have to kiss ass every day because you don't have any other option. You don't know what you can do to actually make money. It sucks. I know people who are actually, you know, getting paid enough to be able to start businesses. You find that they're getting paid enough every month. If they saved money every month, they'll be able to start a business that will actually become successful, but they never think of starting a business. They depend on the system. You see, it's like they want to be slaves. They're not going to school so that they'll find a way to free themselves. Because, okay, I can understand if someone said, well, I don't know how to make money to start a business, so I go to school so that I'll get employed, so that I'll start a business. I'll start my own business and not have to depend on this system. But now, people ain't going to school to figure out how to start a business. They're going to school so that they will be slaves. Right? They're going to school so that they will be slaves. It's kind of dark, actually. It's kind of dark. They're going to school so that they will be slaves. That's why I ain't proud of humanity, man. I ain't proud of humanity. We are weak. We are weak, and we have allowed rich people to use us. We've allowed people in power to use us. Like, we've given people in power more power than they actually deserved. I mean, they don't really deserve, power, to be honest. But I mean, now it's people who are rich who are truly benefiting. It's people who are rich who are actually benefiting. Their children don't even need to go to school. You think Elon Musk's children have to go to school? For what? They will learn what they need to learn, while your ancestors wake up every day and go to school and have to fight with other kids, deal with a lot of nonsense, lots of lies, while stressing about your situation at home. We're traumatized because, people have no idea what the heck they're doing. And think about it, man. If school didn't make people stupid, people wouldn't be okay with having to wake up and go to school like 5 days a week, or maybe 7 days a week, because there are people who work every day. Like, that's messed up. Like, what are you living your life for? I mean, is it worth it? What are you gaining from waking up early in the morning and go into work. Like, what is it? What is it that you gain, and then you get married and then you have children? Really? That's what you are here for? Like, does that make you feel proud? Like, oh, I have children. Like, that's not even your children. And I keep on telling people that, like, your children ain't even your children. What do I really mean? I mean that you didn't design yourself, right? You didn't create your DNA. You didn't create your desire to procreate, right? So you've been just programmed that way. So you are procreating and you're like, oh, that's my kid. If someone created us, they're the ones who own everything, not you. So people need to think the way that they need to think to be able to free themselves. Like, you need to be as real as possible. You need to be as creative as possible. You know, be able to think outside the box. I'm actually scared of people who are unable to think outside the box. I think they're dangerous because they hold everyone back. Like, if you have good ideas, they're gonna try to discourage you. Intelligence isn't taught. So that I think each and every person is capable of being intelligent, but they have to be themselves. Because when I look at people that I feel like are intelligent, these are the people who were themselves, like, the whole time. You know, growing up, the kids that were themselves are the ones who actually became intelligent in the end. And the kids that were complying a lot became dumb in the end. You know, there are kids that I used to think were smart when we were growing up. I mean, they were. But because they grew up complying a lot and getting rewarded for complying, they actually became dumb in the end. That ain't beautiful, man. You are a human, man. You gotta be like, don't allow yourself to be treated like a slave and like you're nothing. You are human. Take yourself a bit seriously. Like, you're supposed to be better than other animals. Don't allow people to lie to you and manipulate you, take advantage of you, keep you ignorant. Like, it doesn't help. Thank you all, guys.